This conference will now be recorded.
I'm going to go ahead and start. So we're going to go through the agenda here. So first we have welcome, introductions, and roll call. So I'm going to start with the roll call, and then anyone whose name I don't call, we'll do some introductions afterward. So if you hear your name, just here. And I see Connie, you asked a question. The answer is no. All right, so I'm going to go through the meeting here. All right, so Shelley Entrikin.
Here.
Barb Long. Doug Manick. Audra Miles.
Here.
Joe Coffin. Craig Boynton. No, I see his name. I don't hear his audio. Hannah Fuchs. David Luders.
Here.
Mary Patton. Shamara Robinson. Tracy Dowell.
Here.
Here.
Shamra's
Oh,
here.
okay. I got Shamlin and Tracy. Thank you. J. Thomas Howes. Sierra Smith.
Here.
Max Schneider. Tyler Rogers.
Here.
Sean Griffin.
Here.
Don Harper.
Here.
Jody Scott.
Here.
Angel Marinich. Renee Razzo.
Here.
Chris Mitchell. Oh, she was calling in. She might come later. Don Rulis. And Greg Cassidy. All right, let's see if we have a quorum. All right, we do have a quorum today. Okay, so now I'll go through others who are not on my committee. We've got Jim Bremner from Washington Township. Going down my list of names here. Connie Shealy is a transit writer. Cindy Johnson, remind me where you're from. I know that we talked recently.
Yes, Cindy Johnson for Peggy Hawkes, Graceland Center for Purposeful Aging.
All right, welcome. And let's see, did I miss anyone? Oh, Katie Dedman from the Western Illinois Agency on Aging. And is there anyone else whose name I didn't call?
Chris Mitchell is here now on the phone.
All right, welcome. And then I heard
Right?
Marie, are you right? Okay, excellent.
Yep, from IB still.
Okay. All right, sounds great. So we'll move on to number 2, public comment. Does anybody have public comment today? All right, moving on to number 3, the approval of October 4, 2022 minutes. Can I have a motion to approve the October 4, 2022 minutes?
I'll make a motion.
Jody, I'll move to approve the minutes.
All right, I heard Shelley and Jody. Does anyone have any comments about the October minutes? All right, in that case, we will vote. All those in favor of approving the October 4 minutes, say aye.
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 Okay, all opposed? All right, that motion passes. Moving on to the approval of November 1st. This is the special meeting. We added one for the sake of the HSTP document. So shorter minutes, but also on the queue. So can I have a motion to approve the November 1st special meeting minutes?
So move.
All right, I heard Chris. And can I have a second?
I second.
Jody, I'll second.
All right, I heard multiple people. I'll do Jody. Okay, any comments about the special meeting minutes? Okay, hearing none. All those in favor of approving the November 1st special meeting minutes, say aye.
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 All right, any opposed? Okay, that motion passes. All right, next one is, the big one for us today is the approval of the final HSTP document. And actually, let me bring that one up on my computer. Give me just 1 minute. Okay, so as everyone knows, we have produced this new document, and it has been through the public comment period that ended at the end of November. And we did not receive any comments we received some that kind of supported what was already written in the plan. So I appreciate anybody who gave comments. But the biggest thing that we changed, and I'm bringing up the document shortly, was actually the font. Here we go. There it is. Apologies for not having this earlier. So my colleague and I spoke with one of our other colleagues who helped educate us about accessible fonts and accessible design, which admittedly I had known nothing about. So this is basically ensuring that more people can easily read this document. I've learned that fonts that are sans serif, which is what this is now, are more easily readable. So that just means there are no little hats on the H or the T. So it's clearer for anyone with certain learning disabilities or visual issues. So that was actually the biggest thing that I changed, but all the content is the same. So I'm not going to go through the whole thing, but I just wanted to give you a visual if you can see my screen. Otherwise, I'll send it out afterwards. But I simply changed the font. So if that helps any one person, then that would have made a difference.
Thank you. It will.
Excellent. So yeah. Could you mute yourself if you are making a noise? I cannot find who's making noise. Okay. No, still happening. Normally it shows up for me, but it's not. Okay, I got it. Thanks. All right. So does anyone have any further comments about the plan? Actually, I'm sorry. I meant to get a motion in a second, so let me backtrack. Can I get a motion in a second for the approval of the final HSTP document?
I'll make a motion.
All right, I got Shelley. And I need one more for a second.
Sean will second it.
All right, thank you. And now I can ask one more time, anybody have any further comments about the plan before we officially vote to move forward with it? All right. Okay, with that, we will do for this one, I'm gonna do a roll call vote. So just I'll ask for your patience here. So for anyone on the committee, I'll just go through and you can say a yes or no. So Shelley Entrican,
Yes.
sorry, let me skip the people who are not here. Audra Miles,
Yes.
Joe Coffin,
Yes.
Craig Boynton,
Yes.
David Luders,
Yes.
Shamra Robinson,
Yes.
Tracy Dowell,
Yes.
Sierra Smith,
Yes.
Tyler Rogers,
Yes.
Sean Griffin,
Yes.
Don Harper,
Yes.
Jody Scott,
Yes.
Renee Razo.
Yes.
Okay. Did I miss anyone who joined late who's on the committee? I don't think so. All right, in that case, the motion passes. Thank you. Okay, we will move on to the provider and agency updates. Sharing my screen. There we go. So how about we go backwards up the list, just to switch it up a little. And again, I'll ask the other folks afterward, but we'll start with our committee members. If you have anything to share about what you've been working on in the community or any questions you have. So Renee, do you have anything with Agency on Aging?
Nothing at this time.
All right. How about Jody Scott with Advocates for Access?
I don't have any updates at this time.
All right. Don Harper with Epic.
It's just our monthly, it's just our inspections down there at Katy Oil. So they're kind of strict down there this month. A lot of our vehicles are failing because I guess they got fined $10,000s of dollars. I guess a vehicle pulled out and ISP stopped the vehicle as soon as they came out of the garage and they didn't do the inspection correctly. So they're really hitting everybody hard right now.
Oh,
Imagine that.
yikes. That does not sound like a fun time.
Yeah.
All right, moving up to Sean Griffin from We Care.
All right. Yeah, it's due to a lack of drivers. Currently, we have had to push our online training, live training with TripMaster until January. We hope to be live by the end of January.
All right. Good to know. How about Tyler Rogers from ADDWC?
No updates at this time.
All right. Sierra Smith from the Tazewell County Board.
No updates.
Okay, next I have Tracy Dowell from MSW Project.
The only update that I have is that we're so busy we're in need of drivers. So kind of that's been an ongoing thing, I think, for everybody is just trying to find drivers. Um, so that's pretty much the only thing that I have.
Okay. Yeah, you're definitely not alone, unfortunately. Shamra Robinson from Greater Peoria Mass Transit District.
Good afternoon. So just recently, I had a meeting with Kylie from Express Employment Professionals, and she gave some suggestions on different route ideas that they had that would definitely service the needs of um, the individuals that they employ. So some of the ideas was a Route 8 from Farmington Road to Reservoir. So that's something that I would bring to, actually all of them I would bring to our next operational touch point meetings, as well as our route restructuring, and just talk to our team to see if this is something that we would be able to move forward with. And then she also spoke about in Bartonville, there's some areas that are untouched, but I know that our buses don't even go to that area at this time. Um, but then also maybe even going just to the McDonald's and coming back might be an idea. The federal prison, which is in Pekin, that was another area that we are currently not going to. And then Thornton's, she said this is something that she just wanted to throw in there, but is a possibility that we wouldn't be able to go that far out. But the Thorntons at 116 and 26 across the bridge over a little past East Peoria. And then also to bring you to attention with the Washington pilot, I know that we have Jim Bremer on here, so he could probably speak a little bit more on it. But the number of completed trips that we had for November is 125. Really, there wasn't that many no-shows, so that was only 7. People are mainly doing travel for dialysis, is what I noticed in the report that Angel provided from TransDev. And we created actually a service agreement at the beginning of November with Washington Community High School to transport students that qualify for the service to their co-op jobs in Peoria. And so it looks like they're going to like Peoria Production at this time. And then there could be a possibility of some other trips with students soon. We just had an email that was sent, I believe it was yesterday, and I believe Jim, he already emailed the teacher back because they do have a lot of interest. We hope to also get a meeting set up with you, Rima, as well as Jim and the City Link General Manager, Doug, to discuss future opportunities, hopefully with this pilot, and maybe we can have some sort of extension, we'll see, but that's something that would have to be analyzed. And that completes my report.
Audio. Are we back? I think we're back. We lost our audio briefly, but I think we're okay. I'm gonna send a message to see if anyone can hear me.
Rima?
Yes, can you hear me?
Yeah,
Hi, this
Jim
is
Brown
Chris. Go ahead.
Okay,
here.
all right, thank you, sorry about that. All right, so let's see, we had Shamra here. Actually, Jim, do you have any updates? I know you're not on my committee list, but you are relevant to the Washington conversation.
Great. I just wanted to tag team on what Shamra had to say. We picked up, we're doing something with the high school with developing disabled kids in high school and post high school. And of that 125 rides, 66 of those rides were for those kids to get to either HSRA or Peoria Production Shop or to Epic for services or employment. So that was really good that, about half of those rides were for those kids. And that was really what kind of drove this program in the first place. The second highest or the highest ride was for people that were on dialysis, and that accounted for quite a few rides as well. Their city lift is assisting, if you will, Central Illinois Agency on Aging, getting those people the needed services where they were not able to do so. When you start taking people 3 days a week and the limited vehicles that agency has, it's really good that City Lift is working with Agency on Aging to accomplish that as well. So we hope to have this grow, but for the last 4 months, I'm just going to read some numbers out. In August, we had 61 rides provided, September 91, October 110, and here in November 125. So it is on a growth pattern. We hope to continue it. We hope to continue the service. But as Shamra said, we're going to be discussing either funding, a timetable, availability, vehicles, it'll all have to come down to financial, what makes the best sense for the residents as well as the funding entities and Transcom. So we'll go from there. Thank you.
All right, well, thanks for that really comprehensive report. That's great to hear that you're able to make connections, especially with the high school there.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so next on my list, I have David Luters from the Marshall County Board. Any updates to share?
No updates.
All right, and next I've got Craig Boynton from Galesburg.
Hello, we're excited at the fact that we were able to leverage some funds from an old grant that we had that was still open. We'll be adding cameras to our paratransit fleet. And with the upgrade of this technology, we're actually upgrading to where we'll be able to view the cameras live instead of when they get back into the shop, and we can download the information. So it'll create some safety factors for us. We are working to complete app that will be live here hopefully in the next month, so our patrons will be able to utilize an app to see where we're at and where we're going to get there. So our dispatchers will be heavily relieved of not getting those phone calls every 5 minutes. And we're thankful for working with Jeff Waxman with IDOT to work with us to get us some loaner vehicles for vehicles down due to not being able to get parts or just old enough that they're not working anymore.
All right, well, that's great. It sounds like a lot of logistical things going on. Getting some background noise here. Okay, so the next, we hear the noise. All right, if I hear background noise, I will mute people just to let you know. Next on my list, I have Joe Kaufman from KCCDD. Do you have anything?
No updates.
All right, cool. Two more here. So Audra Miles from the Fulton County.
No updates.
All right, lastly, I've got Shelly Entrican from FCRC.
No updates.
Okay.
Rima?
Oh, did
Rima?
I skip? Yes.
It's Chris Mitchell.
I'm sorry, I skipped over you. Go ahead.
That's all right. Don't worry. I just want to say that there is a resource that I think everyone should know about because it is the Center for Sight and Hearing, which is officed in Morton, and it's a satellite office from Rockford. But this person will come out and do specific trainings to specific tasks. And I don't know if she would do any training for City Lift or City Link in Peoria, but I do feel that she can be helpful to all the agencies in dealing with people who are hard of hearing as an acquirement in aging, and also people with difference in sight. And she is working from a free grant that doesn't cost anybody anything. So her name is Tamarit Brunson, and I just wanted to make people aware of it because she's very consistent and she's an excellent teacher. And she's also a vocational rehabilitation specialist. So she might be helpful to all of you in planning. Thank you for listening.
All right, yeah, that's really helpful. If you have her contact information, then I'll take it, or I can look.
Okay, I will email that to you so it's all correct from the distortion on the phone. And I can send it to everyone. So. Hello?
Oh, there we go. I don't know why. We've been losing our audio today. Hopefully.
Well, I'll email the information to you and everyone else.
There we go. Okay, I heard that last line from Chris. So we're back on. We've been losing our audio. Okay, so let me get my list of other folks. Let's see, so I'll go down and see if anybody else has anything to share with the group. How about Connie Shealy? Do you have any sort of update?
Not really an update, but I just wanted to give a big thank you to City Lift. A while back, I can't remember the specific date, but I was on a bus for the Blind Center, and we were going to pick some people up to go back and have a Thanksgiving meal that the center had prepared for everyone. And so the bus, we couldn't get the lift up, and we couldn't get it to go back down. Nobody could figure it out. We had a board member. We had two drivers that, an extra driver showed up, and everybody tried and we couldn't get it. So I suggested maybe call City Lift because I know that their drivers are really experienced with the lift. And they were kind enough to send two people. One of them used the hand pump and was able to get at least get the ramp to lift up, but we ended up having to have it towed. But I mean, we offered to pay them. They said, no, that's okay. The two drivers that they sent, I can't remember their names, but they were very, very helpful and very professional and experienced and tried their best. And it was a really cold day that day. So I just appreciate, them coming to try to help us.
Oh, that's great. Thanks for sharing that. That's good to have community connection here.
Well, and that's the
Um,
thing is I'm really a firm believer in kind of like collaborative, working, amongst agencies. And so I just thought if nothing else, they might be able to provide some information to the drivers that might help them be able to get the ramp up.
yeah, well, that's great, Billy. Wow, really good story. All right, I've got who else on my list? How about Kylie Rathman? Do you have anything to share on your end? Oh, we can't hear you, but I thought I saw you saying you don't. There we go. Okay. All right, that's fine. Moving on, how about Marie Argybright from the Illinois Valley Center for Independent Living? Do you have anything to share here?
No updates.
All right. How about Katie Dedman from the Western Illinois Agency on Aging?
Nope, no updates here. Thanks.
All right, and how about Cindy Johnson? I know that this will be your first time here, so if you want to just give a really short introduction, talk about your
Sure.
organization.
Sure, thank you. For the Graceland Center for Purposeful Aging, we are a 501c3 non-for-profit agency. Our goal and purpose is to help those that are aging with dignity and grace. We do not have a physical location or a building, and we work on that. That is our prayer and hope and desire that we will get one down the road. So what we're working on currently is for 2023. We're working on what we call Graceland gatherings. Since we don't have a building, we're going out in the community to various locations to explain what Graceland is, what our purpose is, our plan and our purpose, to have a short program on a topic of their choice or our choice, gather their input and feedback to help us to continue to secure funding and grants for a building and whatever needs we may have. So that's what we're working on for 2023, our calendar for Graceland gatherings.
All right, that sounds great. Thanks for joining today.
You're welcome.
I think I got everyone here. Is there anyone I missed? All right, sounds good. Moving on to agenda item number 7, which is the HSTP coordinator report. I have just a couple things to share. So last week I went to Springfield to, I met with IDOT and some other coordinators, and they were teaching me how to conduct 5310 reviews. So this applies to some of our folks here. So if you have a vehicle from the state through the 5310 program, then you should know who you are, because if you don't know what that is, then you probably don't fit into that category. But if you currently have a vehicle, they're wanting coordinators to go and do an inspection. So I learned how to do that. I will contact you when that comes up. We don't know exactly when. We're thinking next year, but I'm just waiting on IDOT to tell me the next details for that. And then the other thing, also related to 5310. So this is, there's 2 parts of the 5310 program for those of you who are unaware. One of them is the Department of Transportation for the state. They have a grant period that you folks can apply for to receive vehicles for their organization. And what I do is kind of educate and help anybody who wants to apply when those applications become available. The other half of 5310 is Tri-County receives funding on an annual basis to then give away to different entities to fund mobility management, operations, and capital projects. So you heard Chamra and Jim talking about the paratransit expansion for Washington, and that was 5310 funding. So all that said, we are hoping to release another call for projects in January for Urban 5310. And this would apply for everyone in the urbanized area. That's just how this funding is released. It's flagged as urban. So it's Peoria and Pekin urbanized area. And I want to give you a heads up just to start thinking if you have any projects, and I will still this month, I'll send an email with more details. So I know that there's still, I can give you an amount and I'll give you more details about who is eligible, things like that. So this is just a heads up that that is coming. I'm thinking mid-January, and I will give you more details by email shortly. And that's all I have for my HSTP coordinator report. And the next agenda item is other. Does anyone have anything else to bring up for today? This will be our last thing on the agenda besides adjournment. All right, if that is the last thing, then we'll go on to item number 9, which is adjournment. And I will adjourn the meeting at 12:33 p.m. So thank you everyone for joining. I appreciate helping pass everything we need to pass with all the votes. And I hope you have a happy holiday season.
Merry Christmas from
And
sunny
Merry
Florida.
Christmas.
Thank you.